Good evening. My name is Richard Furr. I'd like to talk to you today on the topic of population control. A lot of people see population control as just a way for government and elite powers to control the people. But I'd really like to get into it today and get into the true aspects of population control. We see population control as, like I said, the means of being controlled, being told what to do by freedoms taken away from us. But let's consider population control for a minute. Without any type of population control at all, you could take a certain society, let's say such as Africa, those without resources to be able to have the resources to have for the amount of people they have. And I know a lot of the government in Africa and places like that are corrupt, not taking care of people they should, so it's left up to the churches and other caring organizations from across the world to take care of them. But the true aspect of population control is, I say today's society, how corporations and companies have explicited the psychological part of reproduction. Far as you say, movies and TV shows and video games and magazines, we see these sexual innuendos wherever we go, and these corporations are using these things to control the people. And by an effect of controlling the people, they're also targeting the younger generation. And when they target this younger generation, these children begin to, do the monkey see, monkey do approach, where they see these things and don't understand that these things are morally wrong, but they grow up under these things and it becomes a part of life. So then you begin to see these young teenagers and these young people having children and not understanding how to take care of them. So therefore you run into a problem of having a growth in population and not having enough means and resources for them. And but in God's word, I know in Genesis 9:1, God does tell Noah and his sons after the flood, he tells them to go out and be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. But in no way, shape, or form did God say do this out of marriage or out of wedlock. So as far as according to God's word, he did want us to replenish the earth and take care of it. But no way, shape, or form did he tell us to do this lustfully, as a lot of corporations put in the minds and the hearts of a lot of these children. But in today's topic, I'd really just like to speak about the battle over population control and for the preservation of health to make today's society strong and healthy, and to be able to cater to the growth and the means of the sizes is begin to get today. And they said slowly but surely we'll have over 7 billion people on Earth. So we have to really find the means and the ways to take care of those people. We can't just have these people and not have enough resources. But in order to talk about this topic today, I believe I've established some credibility because me myself, I've studied humanities at Liberty University, and I've studied 2 separate psychology courses and researched many topics that involve population control. So I somewhat have an understanding of people's minds, the way they think, thought processes, and understand the way culture has, I want to say evolved, but has changed over the years. And I hope by elaborating on these points I've already brought out that, and the information that I've selected, that you should get a clear understanding of how hard it is to control the growth of population when corporations are using these psychological and sexual, persuasive, and visual and audio material to get in the pockets of society. And controlling the population should not really be a means of limiting the number of people, because it's a proven fact that studies have shown, like the National Geographics, that you could take the world's population and stand them shoulder to shoulder and they would actually fit into the city of Los Angeles. So that kind of gives the insight that it's really not a big deal about having enough space, but it is about having enough people willing to work and have the resources they need to be able to facilitate a growth in population. But one thing that would really help is that if, like I said before, if people will come together and educate people on population growth, rather than letting these corporations and companies show these sexually explicit videos and these TV shows and music videos and magazines and reality shows that really didn't give people a clear understanding of human reproduction. And in this video, I also want to elaborate on the three main components I've already spoke of today and aspects of population control and the real agenda behind population control on planet Earth. First main point, like I said before, I'd like to bring out today is the agenda behind population control for society. Second, my next main point would be the cause of the population control today in today's society. And third and final point I'd like to bring out is the solution I believe behind population control that can actually, I want to say, slow down the amount of people that are born into today's society, but would really help educate the people once they did bring a child into this world, that they would be able themselves to help give them the resources and give them the things they need to be a successful citizen in this world. I know I have a different view than a lot of people on population control, such as Margaret Sanger, who is really the founder of the Planned Parenthood. She has a totally different worldview of the population control, which she is very, I want to say, was very racist in what she believed, and believed that any other race besides whites were lower than everybody else, and we really needed to lower the population and sort of, in a matter of speaking, to weed out the weeds of society, in her way of speaking. But according to God's word, the Bible tells us that that God is no respecter of persons. That the only thing He separated during the Tower of Babel was man's intent to do things on his own. But the Bible also says in Philippians 4:19 that we can do all things through Christ which strengthen us. 4:13 says we can do all things through Christ which strengthen us. So as long as we're doing things unto God, God doesn't see anything wrong with it. But as far as population control, it is a necessity that we do control population in the aspect of educating them, that we have a better and healthier quality of life while we're living on this planet. My first main point, like I said, I'd like to bring out was to recognize the problem of population control. And population control, like I said before, is a very big issue, and it does need to be addressed. But no way, shape, or form, like I said before, does it need to be about limiting the amount of people. Like I'm not like Margaret Sanger that was for abortion, or even there's even talk through a lot of people call them conspiracy theories, stuff like that. Even upcoming genocide, even here in the United States, that if we didn't lower population, that they would, governments and other corporations would actually start putting things within our food or drinking water, like high levels of fluoride, and then the big old discussion of mercury in these shots of people that take the flu shot, and then the talk of children getting the hepatitis B shot. It's proven fact that you have to weigh 270 pounds for the shot to even really absorb in a healthy manner, but they're giving these babies these shots a day after they're born. So you got all these different aspects of population control, saying they need to do something about it, and then you got these other people talking about this is what they're going to do about it. But I do believe people are being controlled by entertainment and media through sexual, psychological ways in order to get into the pockets of the younger generation and to get into the pockets of societies, like I said before. And it does cause a problem. It causes these people to go off feelings, lust, more than they do go off common sense or a moral standard that God's put in place. And the population does start increasing because you start getting these people that are just mentally thinking, this is a pleasurable thing to do, and act off of it. And then, the amount of people start adding up, and we don't have the resources to help these kids. They're being put into adoption centers. A lot of them are being aborted. And like I said, I believe nature takes care of a lot of these deaths herself, for the simple fact of, natural disasters and all these other things that happen in society. So I think the problem in population control is the way people are trying to go about controlling population. And And by controlling the population, I don't mean to control the people, but I mean to educate the people. Population control should, like I said, it shouldn't be about controlling people. It should be about educating the people, and it shouldn't be about trying to kill those who are already a part of society, and it shouldn't be about killing those who don't have a voice yet, like I said, abortion. But population has kind of turned out more of population control has turned out more of a survival or elite thing rather than a means of forming a healthy society, or like I said before, educating society. But that's one of the biggest things in society. In society, the poor are seeing it as we're trying to be controlled, we're trying to be told what to do. But then again, the rich are kind of seeing it as, well, we have a comfortable way of living, so let's don't affect that way of living, you know. So let's try to lower the population of those less fortunate, that we can keep up with our comfortable way of living. And then you have the middle, which there are actually people out there today that are really concerned about population and want to do what's best for the population, so that we'll all be able to have the resources we need, and to find the people that's willing to get out there and help with those resources also. Second point I wanted to bring out was the cause of population control. Like I said before, population control was formed because they saw a growing number of people being born by parents that were like on government assistance, or not being able to do things on their own. Like the younger generation were having all these kids and didn't know how to attend to them or be able to support them, so it fell on the hands of government and those who are more fortunate. And like I said, I'm not putting down people that are more fortunate, that are richer, because, you know, a lot of them had to work their way to get to that place, and I take nothing from them. But when we get to a place where we start making it about material things rather than life of a person, we've erred. So like I said, one of the main causes of population control is people not being educated about caring for the children. Like I said, there's many organizations out there that do teach these young children, young teenagers, those who have had children, about the necessity of taking care of kids, getting their education, be able to provide for them. But still today we have a growing number of people that doesn't care, that do use the system, that as soon as their children come of age where they can't grow any more government assistance, they begin to have more children to be able to stay within the system. And in no way, shape, or form I'm like Margaret Sanger because I am of the white race, but I see this happening in every race, not just the white, black, Mexican, Hispanic, Asian cultures, but it's more of a society thing where we have those this younger generation coming up not being educated on the principles of sexual mortality, biblical principles as far as not having children out of wedlock. And I believe those principles not being put in place is a big contributor of having this population control today. When the number of people go up in an area, I do realize, like I said before, that resources go down, that people have to be willing to work and help develop the resources to be able to not provide for them and their families, but help for others. And I believe that if through this next and third main point, through the solution of population control, if we could do this very thing, population control won't be such a big issue. Like I said, my first point on the solution of population control is to get rid of these things in society that trigger promiscuity and unwedlock births and unwanted teen pregnancies and unwanted pregnancies. If we can get these things out of society, as far as TV, out of radio, out of these areas of society, I believe that would really cut down on the rate at which the population grows. Like I said, because of natural disasters, because of war, because of disease, all these things, that the population itself, through nature and through what man's done to the earth, would these deaths that are happening, they say that studies show that even with all these deaths happening, the growing number of birth rate is even higher than the death rate. Even because of technology today, people are living longer because people are staying a little healthier, and we have all these different technology to keep people alive even longer. But I believe if we quit resorting to TV, music, and all these different things to teach our kids up in society, we wouldn't have to worry about population control. Like I said, even if I wouldn't even consider resorting to Planned Parenthood, because mentally, the mentality of the Planned Parenthood, because killing off people, genocide, that's not of God, because God's commandments, He teaches that we shall not kill. So in the topic of population control, I see population control as a good thing, an aspect that we do need to make sure that we have the resources to help everyone, and that everyone's not lacking because there's a chosen few deciding that they just want a free ride. Even biblically, in the book of study of Corinthians, we understand that the Corinthian people began to quit their jobs and quit doing things in society because they figured Christ was coming back. So they leaned on the church to support them. But we learn from Paul's writings that Paul told them, said, until Christ comes back, we need to work and do what's right until Christ does return. So my objective in this video was to enlighten you and tell you that population control is a big issue. Population control can be a good thing, but there are those out there that are using folks' psychological thoughts and minds to get in the pockets of them. So if we can create a solution and a midway point where we can get people educated and on their feet and doing the work, being able to help support and find resources, would be a good thing. In return, we need to stop media, and we need to stop TV and entertainment from putting these things in our kids' heads that cause them to act this way. Thank you for your time, and hope you have a blessed evening.